Donald, Thompson, Delure, Cross, Hughes, Hawthorne's out, Edwards and Key. Of course, as Michael said, Keys are laid out with a leg injury. Oh, try to... Ustav goes double-handed over his head. Creative. Dangerous, however. Delure in there trying to affect the play. Puts a tackle on. Under the bottom of that.
Both sides probably feeling each other out as well for the first time this year.
Indeed. Ball comes in. Hughes in 46. Oh, well smothered. Ustav has an absolute airy. Ducks his head, does Xander cross. Gets it out. Marcus Delure's in there. O'Donnell in there. Oh, good body strength. Over to O'Brien. Off one step. Kicks it long. Offhand a footy club.
It's Adam Clark, actually, number 12
Oh,
there.
I beg your pardon. I've been calling them wrong. Thank you, mate. My bad. Delaney's in 11. So it's Clark. Gets underneath that slightly, and it lacks a fortune. And it ends up there in the hands of...
I think that's Isaac Hughes.
It's 46. Thank you, it is. Played some first grade footy last year, Isaac Hughes. Beg your pardon. I've been calling them wrong. Thank you, mate. My bad. Delaney's in 11. So it's Clark. Gets underneath that slightly, and it lacks a fortune. And it ends up there in the hands of...
I think that's Isaac Hughes.
It's 46. Thank you, it is. Played some first grade footy last year, Isaac Hughes.
Yeah, new recruit to the game. Actually spent probably 3 or 4 weeks in the reserves at the start of last season and then into first.
Low, direct, and a goal. Isaac Hughes has kicked Cardiff's...
Yeah, new recruit to the game. Actually spent probably 3 or 4 weeks in the reserves at the start of last season and then into first.
Low, direct, and a goal. Isaac Hughes has kicked Cardiff's 3rd goal. And Cardiff, I'll just wait for the scores to come up. This is a big change to football, isn't it, Nick?
Yeah, it does open it up a lot.
I remember hearing when they tested that in some football in Melbourne last year, and the comments that came through were almost exclusively good about it. Goes backwards. Oosterhoff got a chance at a possession here. Right out by Lennon, taps it out the back. Delure, can he make a tackle? He can. Oosterhoff going to do well to get a possession there. Jets a little short handball out to the Honey Badger. Goes backwards. Oh, well smothered. Good intent by Cardiff here, both sides actually. Oosterhoff will look to give off, will he? No. Throws on the left. I think that's going to be out of bounds and fall into the Cardiff faithful. It is. And it's a penalty. It's a free kick in front of us. Oosterhoff wants to go on with it. He doesn't need to go on with that rubbish. Handbags at 10 paces. It's going to get interesting here. Hughes is going to handle himself quite well. Badger goes backwards. Oh, well smothered. Good intent by Cardiff here, both sides actually. Oosterhoff will look to give off, will he? No. Throws on the left. I think that's going to be out of bounds and fall into the Cardiff faithful. It is. And it's a penalty. It's a free kick in front of us. Oosterhoff wants to go on with it. He doesn't need to go on with that rubbish. And having problems with the wind at the moment. Out that ball comes from Xander Cross. Picked up by Oosterhoff, who's knocked up getting possessions in the first half. Coming through like a freight train.
To come back to the fold, which is great to see for the game, obviously. And great to see people getting back involved in their local footy club.
Campbell with the football, and I think that's an interesting point to talk about player points system. I know there's quite a few clubs this weekend that are right on their limit, and that does make things quite different. I suppose the advent of it, Mick, will be when we've got 3 grades being played next week as to how many players are going to...
Getting back involved in their local footy club.
Campbell with the football, and I think that's an interesting point to talk about player points system. I know there's quite a few clubs this weekend that are right on their limit, and that does make things quite different. I suppose the advent of it, Mick, will be when we've got 3 grades being played next week as to how many players are going to... Alex Bailey in there trying to remonstrate. Good tap, Bo. Good tackle by O'Neill, but picked off by Waters. Opportunity for Kalaneva. Can they kick a goal here? Short ball. Should have been marked, really. Goes with a check side. Early stages of the 3rd quarter here at the Central Coast Regional Sporting Complex. Michael Gray and David Redden in commentary with you on Bar TV. Lewis sat out of that one. Delure kicked it, I reckon. Marcus will be very happy with that one. Puts Cardiff.
Some young men around the club who have really flourished under his leadership.
Cross gets that ball out. They've got to start going long. That's an up and under. Gary Owen there. No effort made to go the football now. Here's a chance. Edwards misses what he should have gone with two hands. Guys at some stage got to take the game on. Carter for a man down. Player cramped in the centre circle. Still they get the ball forward. They're looking the goods at the moment. Cardiff. That's a in the back. Caught off balance. Brant Jobe. I would suggest, Mr. Jobe, you leave the honey badger alone. No, he's behind the mark. There's no problems with that. Hugh O'Neill. And off comes that injured player with that cramp. I think it could be Xander Cross.
Yeah, it is Xander Cross. He's cramped up pretty severely. A couple of cramps on the way back.
Very good mark, Isaac Hughes. Goes attacking side. And is it another 50? Second 50. Or is that 100? 100. I reckon that's a 100-metre penalty for back chat after the first penalty. It is. So an interesting kick becomes a point-blank kick after a 100-metre penalty. First free kick given, then descent. Umpire decides he's had enough of that. Mick Ryan's telling him this is Isaac Hughes to go back and take his time. So 100-metre penalty. And Isaac Hughes kicks his second goal, and I reckon Carter for home. Telling him this is Isaac Hughes to go back and take his time. So 100-metre penalty. And Isaac Hughes kicks his second goal, and I reckon Carter for home. Cardiff 8-8-56, Kalani Vale 5-3.